So I kind of have an opinion about everything. Lily's opinion lane. I want to apologize for the sound quality of this video between the apartment being very echoey and then the air conditioning unit. It's just a lot of noise, so hopefully it will get better in other videos to come, but for now, I apologize. Hello, my name is Lily and welcome to my niche, and it is time to kiss, kiss, fall in love. That's right, we're talking about Ouran Host Club. Now, Ouran High School Host Club is a rather notorious anime within the anime community, mainly because it is used as a starter anime for a lot of people who are just getting into the genre, and that's including myself. It was actually the very first anime I watched outside of having seen Pokemon growing up as a kid. And so it is very near and dear to my heart, and I love it a lot. The other reason this show is so notorious within the anime community is because it only has one season and the audience was rather dissatisfied with the ending to the show, so they have been asking for a season 2 since its original air date back in 2006, which, by the way, is 15 years ago now, so it's been a while, and with that amount of time and people still asking for a season 2, it's become a joke within the anime community about how long they've been waiting for this to happen. But I've realized that I don't think it needs a season 2. And I'll tell you why. But before we continue, I have to get some things out of the way. If for some reason you have not seen Ouran, stop watching now because I will likely say some spoilers. I will try my best, but it's pretty hard not to when I'm trying to talk about the ending of this show for majority of the video. So please, go watch it. It's available on Netflix and Hulu right now in both dub and sub. I highly recommend you watch it. It's only one season, like I said. It's a quick watch basically then. And at the very least, go watch the first episode so you can like grasp the premise. The episode's only like 20 minutes, so like go, okay? Go. I don't want to give spoilers, okay? I don't want to ruin things. I mean, it's been out for 15 years now, but like I don't want to spoil. So go. Go, go, go. I will wait. I will wait. You can come back to me. Leave. It'll be fine. Come back to me later and go watch the show and then we can talk about it. Okay? Go. Now, if you're still watching this video and you either haven't seen Ouran or it's been a hot minute since you watched it, I'm gonna give you a quick kind of recap on the main premise of the show. Ouran High School Host Club is a reverse harem anime, meaning that a group of boys are fighting for the affections of one girl. And in Ouran's case, this group of boys just so happens to be a group of extremely rich, pretty boys who all participate in a school club called a host club, and the host club puts on events to entertain the girls of the school by flirting with them and entertaining them in a not serious way. They're like fantasy dates, I guess is the best way to put it. That's what the premise of the host club is essentially. And then you follow all the members and all the hijinks that ensues as they all try to woo this commoner girl whilst fumbling through doing ordinary tasks. It's hilarious and it's a good time and the cast of characters is wonderful, and if you haven't seen it, I hope this convinces you to stop watching my video briefly to go and watch that because it's a good time. Now, on to the point of this video.
Why I don't think Ouran needs a second season.
Recently, I decided to rewatch Ouran Host Club because I realized I likely hadn't watched the show from beginning to end since my original watch through of it back in middle school, which has been a hot minute. So I put it on my TV and I watched through the season. And as I got closer to the end of the season, I started to brace myself for what I remembered to be a very disappointing end. But when I ultimately got to the end of the show, I found I wasn't dissatisfied. In fact, the ending seemed rather purposeful and final and complete. And as I started to reflect on the season as a whole, I realized that the show was meant to end in one season. They had set that up from the beginning. And that's apparent in the way that the character arcs are presented in the show. Yes, we don't get a kiss from Haruhi and Tamaki, or even a confession from the two, but the host club is back together after being abruptly stopped, and Tamaki still has his host family and now knows that they do in fact care for him and don't just tolerate him because he forced them all to be in this club with him, which is very important for Tamaki to know that he has people that care about him. And the rest of the club also completes their character arcs.
Haruhi actually pays off her debt by the end of the season and also learns to have fun and not just have her whole life be about making her grades and being serious and, you know, being the, you know, adult in the situation. She learns to have fun and relax and actually have a good time in life. Kyoya learns to strive for more in his life than what he's been expected of, to go outside the box he's been placed in. And he goes so far as to even buy his father's own company and give the managerial rights back to his father to say, I don't want this. I want something more for myself than what you've expected of me, which is huge for Kyoya, who had always followed the rules. The Hitachi twins are no longer alone and isolated and are now accepted as contradictory beings that want to be told apart but also do not want to be independent of each other. They want to be a single entity while simultaneously being two individuals. It's fantastic. Honey-senpai accepts that he likes cute things and sweets and loves that stuff and has accepted he will never be the type of person that his family always expected him to be and has made peace with that. And Mori didn't really have an arc. I mean that in the lovingest way, but he didn't really have one, but like, that's fine, okay? Like, we're just gonna say he and Honey had the same arc, okay? They both accepted who they were, alright? Because he doesn't really have one. It's fine, okay? Everybody else had one. They were everyone's important. I love Mori, but like, it's fine, okay? Shh. We're not gonna ruin my poetic speech here, okay? Shush. In the end, every character arc has been completed within the season, and you feel as though these characters are now somebody new and they are now stepping into a new chapter in their life. Yes, I know that this is not the ending we all hope and crave when it comes to a romance anime, but it is an ending open with possibility. In fact, the end is Kyoya and Tamaki's fathers arguing over which of their sons will end up marrying Haruhi one day, whilst showing footage of Haruhi going from host to host, dancing with each of them before ending up with Kyoya, and Kyoya ultimately handing Haruhi over to Tamaki, visually ending the discussion that the fathers are having in a separate room. It's a tasteful end, full of possibilities, but still shows that these kids are friends and family for better or worse. And I think that's what's so great, is that because the ending is so open, it's the ultimate host move. In fact, the whole premise of the host club is to be these kind of fantasy dates for these girls to escape into, and the guys can just do whatever they want them to. In fact, it's the ultimate host move in a way, because the whole premise of the host club is to allow these girls to live the fantasy dream of a date that they've never thought could happen, and they can guide how it goes and imagine where it can lead, and that's exactly how Ouran Host Club ends. An imaginary fantasy that you can take in whatever direction you would like. If you didn't like Haruhi with Tamaki, you could have her end up with one of the Hitachi twins. If you didn't like Hikaru and Karou, you could have her end up with Kyoya or Honey-senpai or Mori or anybody else that shows up in the show. It's this ultimate power move of giving you the ending and deciding how the ending is going to play out. And I think that is honestly the perfect way to end a show like that. Now, I'm aware Ouran is an anime that is based off of a manga, but after doing a little bit of research, it appears that the last several episodes of the anime are not at all following the manga's plotline. So I think that further proves that this show was never meant to have a season 2. And I know people want more content, and that is perfectly fine and valid, and I agree it would be fantastic to see this group of people back again, but I just don't think story-wise that it's necessary. I think it's kind of great to have this open ending that you can decide what happens. And if you want to, you can go read the manga, which gives you an ending, and I know where things kind of leave off. So I just think the show, I think, did a really good job, and I think it's actually a pretty perfect ending. What also solidifies the idea to me that this show was only meant to have one season is that the very final scene of the episode is Haruhi saying, "This is the host club and we will always have our doors open to you to come and visit." And it's very much something that sounds like you've finished a show, and when you want to come back and visit again, you can, and rewatch our series and, you know, interact with our characters again, but we won't be coming back. That's kind of the vibe that it gives in the final scene. It's very much of like how when you close out a movie series where it's like, it's closing its doors, but it's not gone forever because you can always go back and come back again. It's just there won't be anything new. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please consider comment, liking, and subscribing. And if you really like what I have to say, possibly consider hitting that bell notification. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers right now, so that would be really nice if you did. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. And otherwise, my name's been Lily, this has been my niche, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!